Now, you mentioned a whole lot of male guitarists, Ronnie Earl, Elmore James, the Kings, the Collinses, Stevie. How about female guitarists? Who were you, were there any female guitarists who were your guides and your mentors growing up?
You know, of course, Bonnie Raitt, but you know, as far as mentors, really male guitar players.
there
I
weren't
always
many.
listening to male guitar players.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. I listened to male singers,
Right.
like Nina Simone, like Coco Taylor,
Yes.
like Etta James, like Victoria Spivey. You know, they are my influences. But as far as guitar players, I just never listened to female guitar players very much. Of course,
you're probably in the middle, meaning there weren't many guitar players for you to emulate
at that time.
at that time.
Probably.
Bonnie Raitt, maybe Debbie Davies.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Not many others. Memphis Minnie.
Sure.
You know, Rory Block.
Fabulous.
But now,
Absolutely.
Right, but now there's probably a whole lot of young girls who are looking at Anna Popovic as their mentor, role model. What do you say to those young girls?
Well, just what I told you is, you know, pick your own style. Don't, you know, don't go on a ticket. I'm a lady, so you know, don't do that. Just try to impress with the different phrasing and. But what I would really want to tell them: pick another instrument. No, really.
Yeah.
Because there's so many guitar players, and you know, it's female guitar players nowadays. You know. Esperanza Spalding, the bass guitar, you know, fabulous double bass player. You know, she puts so much passion on stage, playing that double bass, like better than any man you would see, you know, because she's just very relaxed. She knows it so good. She's jazz, and she can improvise and put all this very mainstream lyrics into that. And it looks sexy, and it looks self-assured, and it's a ticket to ride. You know, you can make any instrument look good, look sexy, self-assured, have a great stage presence, and it's unique.
And write good music.
And write good music. You know, violin, you know, there is no rule. Everything can work, and everything can work in blues if you want it to work. You know, mouth harp, where are all the mouth harp goes? Make it look sexy, wear a good dress, you know, and get deep into that. And you know, saxophone, you name it. The more rare, the better, I would think. If I was them, at that time, guitar was rare, and really a guitar player, a female guitar player was rare, and that did attract me. You know, probably at this time, I wouldn't be a guitar player. You know, I don't think I would.
What do you work harder at? Being a guitar player today, being a singer, or being a songwriter?
Probably songwriter and a guitar player.
Okay. Do you write when you're on the road, or is this?
Yes, I always write.
Okay.
I ride when I bike in Amsterdam. You know, I have an iPhone, and you can record everything. I got melodies when I go to a park with my son. He's playing in the sand, and I'm always writing. Whenever I get an idea, but I never push it. I can hardly push that because it never works with me. But I recognize every time the idea comes, you know, you're walking around and you have an idea and you're whistling something. You just don't throw that away. You know, I can't afford that because I have no time.
That's right.
So every time it comes to me, I record it or write down, and then lyrics they come later, and I got so many ideas. I always write things down.
Have you matured as a songwriter through motherhood and, you know, where you are in life?
I would hope so. I would hope so, and I think I also did you know, that was also something very important to me ever since the beginning was the message that I want to send. I want to inspire people. I want my lyrics to stand for something, not just let's write a song that's going to be played on the radio. Let's write, you know, love something or whatever. You know, no, I really wanted to have a message. So, but but English is not my main language. So naturally, it kind of progressed. Hopefully in a good way. But I remember my first years and my first 2 records with Roof Records, it was more like I needed to have songs. So I locked myself down in the room and I came up with 6 songs for the first record. And that was more like I write down a line from the movie and I write down a line from a book and I put a story together, you know. And then Eclecto Groove years, that was more like, okay, let's write autobiographically. Let's write about Milosevic, time, political stuff.
Sure.
Everybody wanted to know about it. It was very inspirational. It was also a couple of years after that whole mess. So I was ready to start writing these things, telling to the people. It was true. It was really deep inside me.
Yeah.
My family was suffering. A lot of people were suffering. We were trying to get rid of Milosevic, but we couldn't for 10 years, you know. And then the whole thing with the bombing and stuff, I wrote it all down.
Right.
And finally, Unconditional. I wanted to make a roots record for me.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to just pick, let's pick, 12 covers. Or let's write, copy some lines and make my own version. No. I really wanted to go back and write a modern stuff, but really put them in a form, blues form, and I was very surprised how challenging that was. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
I really prepared myself for this record for more than a year.
Right.
I was preparing mentally, and what do I want with it? Do I want an acoustic record? Do I want an electric record? Or electric blues? I can play it all, and
sure.
I could go back and do Elmore James tribute.
Yeah.
I could do any kind of Chicago blues sort of record. But I wanted to do something different. I just couldn't. I wanted modern stuff put in an old form,
Yeah.
So finally, I found out about the songwriting. You can be whoever you want to be in your songs.
That's true.
You don't have to be out of, I wrote a song that's called Count Me In, and it's living this rebellious life. I was in New Orleans for 3 months.
Right.
You get into somebody's crib in New Orleans, and then you put on a party, and the people are gone, and you're calling your friends up, they're drinking, they're smoking, they're making the mess out of the house, you have a one-night stand, and everything's allowed, smoking, drinking, It's like 1,000 miles from my...
From Anna Popovic.
Yeah. But it's different from you.
Right.
But hey, if you could leave it in a dream and have no consequence,
why do we go to movies? Why do
you could. So it was, and what I discovered is my guitar was sounding completely different. What I was playing on that song was so electrifying for me.
Yeah.
And just to be in that movie, I was just playing different than I usually do.
Nice.
I loved it. And on top of everything, I called Jason Ritchie, who's very known for his rebellious life, and he topped it up with his
played the harmonica. That's very cool. Very
and
cool.
Unconditional is also every song has stories. And Unconditional is actually. I was thinking about what is unconditional love. I was actually in a sauna. I was in a sauna in my sport in my gym, and I was thinking, what is unconditional? Came to my mind. A nice word. What is unconditional love? And if I write now, our love is unconditional.
What does that mean?
Oh, that's so cheesy. I can't write that. Although maybe you think sometimes.
Right. But you tell a great story.
You have to tell a story, and you have to
cap it with unconditional.
And actually, everybody's love is in the beginning unconditional. That first week.
Your son is born.
When you
love him unconditionally.
Well, that for sure. But I didn't want to go into another baby song because I already have that. But I was like, everybody's love is unconditional. This first week or first year, that's when you really trust somebody blindly, and you're excited. So there it was.
That's great.
They're all different stories, and there is like a movie scenario for me.
Yeah, very cool. Well, Anna, thank you very much. We've had a great time, and
Wonderful.
I know your show is going to be great. So everybody out there, once again, I'm Art Tipaldi, editor of Blues Revue magazine, sitting with the very talented Anna Popovic, and you'll be able to see her live on the rest of this DVD. Thank you.